Hello, I'm Lacey, and I decided that it might be fun to record some of the stuff because I've been doing all this different kitchen experiments and stuff like that lately. And so, if you like the shows where everybody's kitchen looks perfect and the person looks like all put together and perfect and stuff, this isn't one of those shows. So, or show, whatever. What would you call this? A vlog. Let's call this a vlog. Okay, so I thought that since the obsession of food experiments and stuff started with kombucha, I would show you how I make my kombucha. And I'm sorry if I keep looking over when I'm doing this because the camera is here, but it makes more sense for me to look over there mentally, but I know that I'm supposed to look there. So, okay. So, we're going to start out. I'm going to show you where my kombucha jug is. So, here he is. Whoops. Let me try to zoom out a little bit. I've got it kind of hidden here because it's supposed to be in the dark, in the shade. So I have it here in the corner, kind of hidden, and then I put this thing of fabric over it just to, keep it even more covered so it's not getting a lot of sun. I have the, here, let me pull it out a little so you can see better. I guess you're just looking at my bread machine right now. Okay, so here is my kombucha jug, and I do a continuous brew. Doing it the other way didn't even sound very appealing to me, so I have the continuous brew. This is a 2-gallon jug, and I got this off Amazon. So I have, can you see over here? I have the little temperature thingy here, and I think it's not supposed to get more than 85, so I have to kind of look at it every once in a while when it's really hot in the house. So right now it says that it's 80, so that's okay. And the funny thing about it, though, it's so hot in here, which kind of sucks, but it does make the kombucha brew faster, and the second part of the brewing process goes by twice as fast. So yeah, I'm trying to keep out my messy other part of my house, but yeah, you're probably gonna see it and you'll be like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so here's my kombucha jug. Yay. And so I'm going to show you all of the steps that I take. I'll probably show you the beginning of a step and then skip over so you don't have to see the entire process. But I'll show you from start to finish the way I do it because today is a day that I do all of it. So the first thing that I usually start with, because it takes some time for it to cool off, is I do a pan with, or a pot, I guess, with some water, and I start it to boil, and then I put in my tea bags. So let's get started on that. And I guess I'm just gonna put these videos together when I edit this so that it looks a little better. So yeah, I'm sorry, this is but hey, it's my first video, so sorry. Alright, so what I've got here is my pan and the water that I'm going to put in it. So we've got 1 quart of water. I'm going to put that in the pan. And then I'm actually going to put this on the back burner so I don't have to worry about the front burner being hot later. So I'm just going to put that on there. Whoop. I'm looking at the wrong spot. So I'm just going to put that on there until it boils. And then what I'm going to do now is I have, I turned on the front burner, jeez. So I have tea bags. I have, oh look at that, it's backwards, how funny. Okay, so I have, I do 3 green tea and 3 black tea. And for now, I'm doing the ones in the bags Eventually I would like to do like loose tea leaves, but for now it's kind of expensive to buy loose tea leaves, so I'm kind of stuck doing the option that's a little bit worse for the environment. But I've been spending so much money on different food type stuff, that it just, I looked into the price of the loose tea leaves before I had to fill, these last time, and I was like, no, not a good idea. So I just take my tea, I take out, whoops, is that hot anymore? No. So I take my 3 black tea bags and then 3 green tea bags. Once this starts boiling, the pan back here, my kitchen's just a total disaster, so yeah. I'm thinking maybe I'll actually get some motivation to clean if people are going to look at my kitchen. So, okay, so I'll do 3 black tea bags, 3 green tea bags. When that starts boiling, I'm not even going to bother making you see me drop tea bags into a boiling pot of water, because why would you want to see that? But that's what's going to happen off camera. Bye. Okay. So this is the next thing that I usually do while I'm waiting for my water to finish boiling and all of that. I actually took these out of the cupboard yesterday, because when you do the, after you take the kombucha out and put it into the bottles, then you have to put it into like a cupboard for the second fermentation. So that's what these bottles are here. I took them out yesterday for the second fermentation, because they're ready now to drink. What I do is when I take the bottle out of the cupboard, I put them into my fridge for a day, because sometimes it's really hard to open them up without them fizzing all over the place, because they get the carbonation in there, and I really like the carbonation. So I don't burp the bottles. They call it burping the bottles. I don't do that because I want as much carbonation as I can get. And it's also nice because it's so hot in here, that they do the second fermentation really fast as well. Okay, so I think my water is boiling really quick. I'm going to go ahead and put my tea bags in there, and then I'll show you how I do this with the bottles. I'm like patting it like you could see it. Alright, let me go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'll come back over here. Okay, so I've got the tea bags in the pot. And so it boiled. I put the tea bags in there so that they can cook. And I don't know if I mentioned, the reason why I do that first before anything else is so that it'll be cool. Because I don't want to put the hot tea in there in the SCOBY. And I don't want to kill my SCOBY, my little SCOBY. I'll show you the SCOBY, when we get to that part. So I put the tea on at the very first step of everything, so that by the time I'm done with all of this, it should be cool enough that when I mix it with the water, because what I'm making right now is a tea concentrate. When I first started doing this, I boiled all of the water. So like a gallon of water I was boiling, and then I had to let it sit there for like forever, waiting for it to cool off. Now, I just got like really bright. Now what I do is I do just that 1 quart of water, and that makes the tea concentrate, and then I mix that with a bunch more water, and then I put it into the thing. See this? Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do. I know, I'm like, I'm going to show you what I do when I do the, after the second fermentation. And then I'll show you what I do before, or when I'm taking the, out of there. Alright, so I took these bottles out of the, cupboard yesterday, put them in the fridge so that they don't, like, practically explode when I open them. Oh, Nikes. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. How you like that? You know, I'm the utmost professional when I drop things down off the thing. Okay, so when this is my bottles that I use, but it actually, these bottles are the ones that I use, and I can't really get the labels off, but if you don't want to have to make your own kombucha, I definitely recommend this brand, the Synergy. But so that's what I was using, and then I kept all of the bottles from the ones that I was using while I was saving up to get my tea pitcher thingy, which kind of doesn't make sense that I spent all the money on all of the kombucha, but I needed the bottles anyway, and I love the way it tastes. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do this. So I'm gonna take this, and yeah, I've gone into this long explanation, and now you finally get to see me actually do it. So let's see if you can actually see the bottles. Move this around. Yes, like I said, utmost professional here. Okay, so I've got to open this. You hear that? Carbonation. Gotta love it. Okay, so this, I think it's called Ginger Aid. That's what this is. So I have the 2 empty bottles here that I just washed earlier today. And the reason I have 2, I'll show you. Oh, maybe you can't see that here to see. Yeah. See, it's got foam here on the top. So I have to use 2 different bottles so that it doesn't overflow when I'm trying to put it in here into the bottles. Let me put the bottle back down here into the sink so I don't make a mess. But the reason I have this filter in here is because I had ginger, and I don't want the ginger, and also there's cloves in here. I'll get that out when I rinse it out. So yeah, that's that. And so I'm gonna take another bottle, open that up, and put that in here. So it'll end up being 2 bottles, but I still made it overflow. See, that's what happens. I tried. I sealed those up pretty good to get lots of carbonation. And they say on the different websites that, let me stop talking to you when you can't even see me. They say on the different websites that if you put them back into like room temperature, that they will start carbonating again. But I kind of want to drink them cold, so I don't really do that. But yeah, so just a tip for you, but I don't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the same thing with all of these, and then I'll get the bottles ready so that I can show you how I get them ready for the second fermentation. All right. Really quick, while I'm doing this straining, I wanted to show you why I do strain these. Other than the fact that hold on, let me try to get it so that you can see, other than the fact that the thought of like suddenly choking on a piece of ginger or something kind of grosses me out, but let me see if we can get this into the, can't see it well, but we get these globby things. They're like mucus. That's what they look like. They look like mucus, and they're really gross to me. Like, bleh, gross. I hate seeing them. They gross me out that bad. So yeah, that's one of the other reasons why I strain it. And now, the different websites and stuff, they say that if you don't strain it and you leave the fruit or whatever that you're using for the second fermentation in the bottle, it will have wow, my house is a real mess behind me. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, maybe this will make me motivated to want to clean the house. But anyway, yeah, I don't keep the stuff in there because even though I really like the carbonation, the thought of suddenly gulping one of those slimy things grosses me out really bad. Okay, so I'll go back to doing this. I just wanted to show you that globby thing. Yay! I know you were so excited about the globby thing. really bright, so it's kind of hard to see it. But anyway, so I cut some apples up, and I wanted to mention that these peels, what I'm going to do is put these into the oven with some cinnamon and sugar. So that's a nice little snack there for the peels. But I wanted to show you, I cut these up pretty small this time. Last time I was like, oh, as long as I can get them to fit into the bottle, yay, it's fine. Well, I couldn't get them back out of the bottle when it was done. So yeah, today, little pieces. So I take my little pieces and I put them into the bottle. And then I also have, if you could see it without the horrible reflection. Yeah, maybe. No. Let me turn off this light and see if that makes it any better. My goodness. Ah! I have like the oven cover there so I could put things over the sink. Okay, so I have... This is ridiculous. Okay, here we go. I have cinnamon sticks that I'm going to be putting in there. I broke each cinnamon stick into half, and I'm going to put half of each cinnamon stick into the bottle. And I also have cloves. I'm probably going to put like 1 clove in there. When I make the gingerade, I put 2 cloves in each one. And you might be kind of confused because when you look on different websites and you're looking for recipes, it shows you like, oh, make a gallon of kombucha, put it into a bowl or whatever, a pitcher, and then add this, 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 and this. That's all well and good, but then you have a bowl with kombucha, okay, and then you have all of these things floating inside the bowl. What are you going to do with them? So what I do is, if I use a recipe, which I'm not this time, I'm just throwing stuff in there. If I do use a recipe, I go ahead and I divide it. Like if it's for, most of the recipes I've found is for half a gallon. So since I'm doing a gallon, I would double it and then divide it by 8 because I do 8 bottles. And so that's how I do it. So I divide those. If it says like, I can't think. If it says to use vanilla, I couldn't think of the name of vanilla. I have that problem sometimes. If it says to use vanilla, then what I'll do is I'll take like 1/8 of a teaspoon and I'll just put the vanilla into each bottle that way. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording because you don't really want to see me putting a bunch of things into bottles. Well, maybe I'll show you the first. We'll show you the first, and then I will, can you see that? Yeah, you can. I don't even know which bottles I put stuff in. Okay, so this one's got a cinnamon stick already, so I'll put a cinnamon stick. I should have figured out how many apples I already have. So I'll just show you. I put my apple in there, and then I'll end up putting more apples. And then I'm just going to grab a clove. And the reason that I'm using this instead of using the powdered ones is because you end up with all this like powdery stuff at the bottom of the drink, you know, when you're done. It's kind of gross, but you can use the powdery stuff. If you do use the powdery stuff, then I would recommend you know, putting the kombucha and all of the ingredients into the container, you know, and then dividing it upon amongst anyway, divide it between your bottles. There's the word. Between all of the bottles that way. So I just like doing it this way, especially because I use these things. And I have plans to get like a bunch of different kinds of these. And I just think it would be really cool, you know, to have a bunch of different things. There's one recipe, it's for like chai tea. Oh my gosh. But it's got a ton of different ingredients like these. And some of them, they don't even have it like Walmart, so I'll have to buy them on Amazon. I buy so much stuff on Amazon nowadays. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to divide everything. Yeah, you can see. I'm going to divide the apples and stuff amongst all of these bottles. And I mention that you do have to use some kind of fruit, and you want to use the fruit. It helps with the second fermentation. So that's why you have fruit. When I make the gingerade, I use orange juice. I think my mom says that she uses apple juice sometimes in hers. So, oh, you can see my dog. Dozer. Dozer. Hey. He's just itching. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you how I do the kombucha into the bottles, which is like, you know, not very exciting, but you know, do it real quick, and then we'll be done. Okay, so I've already done 6 of the bottles because I didn't have a lot of room on the counter to put the camera. But so what I'm going to show you is what I do last for the get ready for the second fermentation. So I already put my apples in here, I put my cinnamon stick, and I put 1 clove in here. And now I'm just going to put in my kombucha. Well, I guess it's not called kombucha yet. It's tea. It's fermented tea because it has a little SCOBY in here. And the SCOBY, I don't know the exact science of it, but it produces like a yeast. And I guess if I like let this go like for a really long time, I could, isn't it nice that you can't see me? You could actually like make alcohol out of it, but you know, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'll show you. I've got this here. See our little apples and stuff floating in here. And I'm going to put on my cap, and I'm going to put in really tight. And then I have a cabinet over here that's in the dark, obviously, since it's a cabinet. And they're going to stay in there for 3 days. And what I do is probably on the second day, I'll check them. And when the cap is kind of bubbled, I know that it's pretty much ready to go. And then I'll take them out of the cabinet and put them in the fridge for a day. And I already told you that, what I do after they're in the fridge for a day, because I showed you, you know, I skim all of the yuck out of there. And I don't think that you would be all that interested in watching. What I'm going to do is, since this is a continuous brew kombucha, let me just move that out of the way. Since this is a continuous brew kombucha, I've got this 1 bottle left, and that's going to take, you know, it down a little bit. So it'll basically be, I took out about a gallon, you know, it estimated around a gallon. So then what I'm going to do after this, let me just grab, hold on a second. Okay, so after I finish doing this last bottle, what I'll be doing is I'll take that tea that I made when I boiled the tea, and I will mix it in with some filtered water, and then I put it in here and I pour, you know, with the thing, because I don't want to pour the water right onto my SCOBY. I don't want to like mess with the SCOBY any more than I can. Can you see the SCOBY? Hold on. I think the SCOBY is so cool. He's my friend. Okay, see this little thing floating in here? That's my SCOBY. And there's, you can see like a little brown thing here. That's okay, that's just yeast. It's not something yuck on my SCOBY. It's just a little bit of yeast. It's fine. So yeah, there's my SCOBY. It was actually a little bit bigger, but I think I didn't put enough sugar in there one day because I was like really low on sugar, and he shrunk a little bit. I think he was thicker. So yeah. So that's all I'll do. I'll fill it all the way up. Now, if you don't want to do a continuous brew kombucha like I do, what you would do is, at this point where I am right now, let me make this so you can see me a little better. What you would do where I am now is you would use all of it except for a little bit you would save. And truthfully, I have no idea how much you would save of the tea to put into the next batch, because I don't do it that way. So you'd have to look that up online. But that's what you would do. You would put your little SCOBY guy into like a bowl or something, empty out the entire thing, and just keep a little bit of that tea for the next brew. And then you would do it exactly the way I do it. But I do it this way. And the nice thing about doing the continuous brew is it doesn't have to brew as long as if you were doing it and taking it out. So what the people do when they don't do the continuous brew is, so that they have enough kombucha, is they'll have several of the, you know, not this kind of jar with the spigot, but that's because I do the continuous brew. They'll just have a bunch of jars, like gallon jars, and I don't have room for that, you know. I don't have room for a bunch of gallon jars with kombucha in different stages. So this is how I do it. You know, every like 3 days or so, I do that. And I know you're supposed to like test the kombucha and, you know, taste it, and that's what I did at first. And if it was colder in my house, I would probably taste it. And, you know, it depends on your taste. Personal taste. If you want sweeter kombucha, then, you know, you might take it out earlier. And if you want it a little bit bitter, which is what I like, you know, you don't want the sweet. But so what I'll be doing now, which is the very last step, is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mix in, because I forgot, I'm going to mix in a cup of sugar into my tea water, and then I will mix my tea water, the concentrated tea, into some water, and then I'll be putting it into here with my little funnels. Yeah. I'll show you my little funnel. I put it in here, and I put it kind of at an angle so that the tea goes in, but it doesn't disturb my little SCOBY guy. So that's it. That is how I make my kombucha from start to finish. And I hope that you had fun watching me make a fool out of myself, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, and I'm looking at the wrong area again. You know, it's really difficult because I want to look like over here. Maybe if I flip the camera around, or I'm using my phone, but maybe if I flip the phone, I don't know. So there you go. That is how I make my kombucha, and I hope you enjoyed. And I'm probably going to be making another video, because today I'm making these like chicken nugget things with I forget, like Vital Wheat gluten and okara and some different stuff. So I'll probably be doing that video also today. Whew, my face is so red because it's really, really hot in here. But yeah, there we go. Have a good day. Bye.